So if someone is going through, they've received a diagnosis, instead of railing against it, you come to first thing you do is you come to total acceptance that this is what's going on in my life right now. I have this diagnosis, whatever it is, from cataracts to cancer, you see. What is it telling me? Where is it telling me to shift? Where is it telling me to change? And I'm receptive to that. This is not a one and done thing. This is a daily practice, okay? That's one thing. And the next thing is to actually begin to come into a level of coherence around your self-worth, your value, and the gifts that you are to give the planet. And so you have to think about the moments in your life where you were absolutely loved for no reason. You didn't win an award. Somebody just got you, they just loved you, they just appreciated you. And what did that feel like to be totally loved? Now that unconditional love is infinitesimal to how much the presence loves you. That's, so you grow into that, so you're having an awareness that you're worthy, you're loved, you're appreciated. That becomes the chemical makeup for your trajectory towards healing. So you're asking, what does it mean? Now, what does it mean doesn't mean what's the cause of it. We don't want to. The disease doesn't have a cause because it doesn't exist in the spiritual realm. It has a meaning. What does this mean? Where am I out of alignment? Where can I grow? And you combine that with generating a level of self-worth, value, and what I have to give. You combine those two things together, and there will be movement in your soul and then movement in your body temple.
Beautiful. You speak about awakening.
Yeah.
For those that don't really understand exactly what that might mean for them, you speak about 3 kinds of awakening.
Yeah. You've done your research very well.
Can you? I love you. Can you share with our viewers?
Yeah, we can cover awakening a couple of ways. One is what you've just described, the 3 kinds of awakening. Most people are familiar. They go to bed at night, they sleep, they dream, they wake up. Everyone's familiar with that kind of awakening. The next level of awakening is when you leave your body and realize the body, you're alive independent of the body. That can come through lucid dreaming, astral traveling. People have near-death experiences. People have traumatic things happen and suddenly they're looking at the doctor operate on them, but they're not there. They're on the ceiling looking. That's a second stage of awakening where you actually realize your consciousness is independent of the physical body. Your consciousness uses the body for expression.
Yeah.
And the third state of awakening is when you actually have the awareness that you are one with God, one with life, one with the presence. That sense of separation has dissolved and you realize the universe has said, tag, you're it. You're the presence. So those are 3 stages of awakening. Now awakening occurs when we realize we are awareness itself. We don't just have awareness, we are awareness. And our body temple is in our awareness. This building is in our awareness. We are in each other's awareness. And I like to say that just as an analogy, you have the ocean, pure H2O. Then there's content in that ocean. There's things in the ocean. There's boats, there's pollution, there's all kinds of stuff. But that stuff that's in the ocean is not the ocean. That's stuff that's in the ocean. So the stuff that's in us is not us, it's just in us. It's in our awareness. Now every time we're able to have an insight, we realize that that content is not us, but we're watching it, that's awakening. The average person actually thinks that they are sad, or they actually think that experience that they had, that's who they are. No, that's content. That's not who you are. Who you are is the person looking at it.
Yeah.
And so through meditation, through different spiritual practices, you're able to little by little by little see, oh, that's content passing through. It's not who I am. And now you're waking up. Yeah.
What if someone is watching that is facing this idea of death in their life, their own life, in their family, a loved one? How do they translate that into the circuitry that they've been raised in, thinking that this is an imminent thing that is not good
Right.
and I do not know how to deal with it.
Yeah.
What can we just offer our viewers?
All the mystical teachings, whether you go through the Tibetan Book of the Dead, different mystical teachings of the teachings of the Christ, or whatever. If it's a path with heart, it ultimately bumps into the awareness that we have a temporary expression on earth, but we never die. That this life that we are, this awareness, this distinct unit of energy called us, doesn't suffer birth, it doesn't suffer death. It continues to unfold. Now, because of how we've been taught, and because we're so body conscious, that we actually think that this is who we are, that we become very, very frightened when it's time to cross that divide. What we want to begin to do, we want to begin to have seeped into the awareness of our culture, not just at the mystical level, but at the regular level. This is a pass-through. We're coming to pass. We're coming, and so during the time we have here, this parenthesis that we have, we want to share and give and love and bring out our gifts, because the only thing that people are going to be upset about is the unrealized potential, the gifts that they didn't give, the things that they didn't go for because they were afraid, the closing of their heart and not loving, not sharing. You want to be more frightened of that than the demise of a body temple. Because when you cross over and look back, and I've been on the other side many times, you cross back and look back, you're going to be very upset at yourself of the love you didn't share, the gifts you didn't give, the activation of potential. That's frightening to the soul. But the releasing of a body temple,
not so much.
Not so much.
Yeah.
And of course, we have tremendous compassion on ourselves and on people who lose loved ones. I mean, you're with somebody 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years, sadness is there. We don't deny that. Don't deny the sadness. We embrace it. We deny the fact that we're missing somebody. We embrace it. But as far as death itself, it doesn't have any power.
Doesn't happen.
It doesn't exist.
Yeah.
As the Native Americans tell us, there's a word for death, and one particular tribe that means not here, somewhere else. It's a literal translation.
Yeah, not here right now.
They're not here. They're somewhere else.
Because we don't die. We just leave into another grand adventure.
Yeah.
And the key is for us to be able to wrap our minds around that whole picture so that we're not afraid of any aspect of the whole process of passing through.
Absolutely. You embrace your grieving, embrace the sadness, embrace the missing. Don't try to chemicalize it away or have a whole lot of compulsive behaviors that are going to take you away from feeling that. In our culture, they do that a lot. You have a regular sadness and they want to give you a pill so you're not being sad. No, you're supposed to be sad.
Yeah, you're supposed to feel it all.
If your best friend just died, you're supposed to feel sad.
Right. Yes.
So you don't take something to, no. Be with your sadness. Walk through it. Have somebody walk through it with you.
You're guiding people in such beautiful, beautiful ways. I know that your book, Life Visioning, is an amazing process of guiding people in this sort of way, putting a structure to visioning for their lives. Can you share anything about the book that might help our viewers understand what they might
This particular piece this is how I started Agape. I actually used the life visioning process to begin Agape. And all of our particular departments in our community have a visioning staff where they meet and actually vision as to what's trying to emerge next. So in this book carries the 4 stages of spiritual growth development that we talked about, visualization being part of stage 2, visioning being a part of stage 3. It covers all of that. So it's a lot of material in that book about how to practice it, because individuals can have theory all day long, but unless they actually sit down and do the practice and integrate, it's just going to be memorization, and then that causes stagnation, and that causes spiritual constipation. And so it's a book of how to practice it. And it's been out for a while, but people love it.
Yes.
It keeps on selling.
It's a beautiful book, and also you have a new small book out for people.
Yeah,
that
I have
might
a
be
book
interested.
called Prosperity, Plenitude, and Infinite Possibilities. Just came out a couple of weeks ago. It was a companion piece to an online class that people can sign up for at agapelive.com of the same name. And so you can take the class online, and then you can get the book because it carries other material as well.
Reverend Michael.